seeing you guys today.
Oh, mate. Do you know Kevin Bishop sent me the interview that we did um,
Yeah,
for A Few Best Men? It's about 12 years ago.
that's a long time ago. Yeah, that was a great.
Do you remember that?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, yeah,
Bloody great sheep in there as well with
yeah.
us. I was pissing myself laughing. It's
Mm.
still really funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's funny.
I've not seen that film since it came out, but I've got such fond memories of
How
seeing.
dare you?
But I have seen the first episode of Beyond Paradise season three, so I can speak lots about that today. Yes, well, yeah, it is great to speak to you again, and lovely to see you, Sally.
Yeah,
I enjoyed the first episode that I saw, but it's interesting. I was interviewing Martin Clunes recently about a new kind of ITV drama show he was in, and I asked him if he has plans to watch it when it airs, and he said he was going to sit down and watch it kind of with the rest of the country. I just wondered, what do you guys do on kind of opening night when you're in a show like this that comes out and it's on a kind of Sunday night and the whole country's sitting down to watch it? Do you like to sit down with everyone and enjoy that experience too, or have you kind of seen it too many times and you're a bit too close to the material to kind of?
oh, I haven't seen it. I watch it as a first time viewer
Mm,
when it comes out. And also my kids love
mm,
Humphrey.
mm.
And so they've watched all of his,
Not Chris, just Humphrey.
yeah, they've watched all Death in Paradise episodes. So I'm often in the house, and if they want to watch something, that's comforting, or while they're drawing, or whatever that they love over and over, I can hear Chris in the living room all the time. So
Mm.
they sit
Stuff
down to
about
watch it.
nightmares.
They sit down and watch it for the show, not anything to do with me being in it. They just really like the show. So we watch it. We sit down and watch Beyond Paradise, if you know what I mean, at all as viewers. I know probably sounds weird, but we
Mm.
do.
Yeah, me too. Well, us too. My kids are uh they're sort of that age now where I mean this is the first job I've done where they'll happily sit and watch it. I think with Death in Paradise they were too young. And so and their friends watch it, their friends watch it at school. So
Mm.
so yeah, we sit down and watch it. I it's I mean I'm never a massive fan of watching myself. But I do enjoy watching it with my kids and my wife and the family. Yeah, and so yeah, I haven't seen it either. So yeah, roll on the 28th of March. That's what I say.
But I agree with Sally's kids. I love Humphrey Goodman.
Mm.
Kind of, he's got this wonderful. I think I've mentioned it before. When I've spoken to you, but he's got this kind of almost Harpo Marx quality about him. This kind of like in terms of his kind of face, but he's one of those detectives he's always a step. He always appears a step behind, and yet he's actually always two steps ahead. And I love that about him. And it always feels like what he says is almost taking himself by surprise, just the kind of viewer. How much fun, Chris, have you had kind of playing this role that kind of has this kind of very inbuilt power, but he doesn't truly sort of show it off?
Yeah, I mean, thank you, Stefan. I think it's joyous that you say that because um, to me, with the Harpo Marx thing, and also one of my great one of the people that inspired me when I was younger was Harold Lloyd and and Columbo and Jim Rockford and Rockford Files. And so what I try and do, and a detective called Barnaby Jones as well. And one of the things I try and do is I try and um, sort of give little nods, little homages to um, not just not just detectives that I grew up with, but all sorts of influences I had when I was growing up, and just little Easter eggs for myself more than anything. But if people get them as well, then all the better. And there's loads in there. There's a in the new series. There's a couple to Widnell and I as well, and which you have to look out for. And they're quite subtle, and or I hope they are anyway. Um, but I love playing him because he's disarming and yet armed at the same time, I think. And I love that in the fact that I love the way that certain people can sort of undercut miscreants and antagonists by outwitting them, by not doing anything but just being themselves. And I just think, and underlying that, there's no real side to Humphrey. He's not, there's no great dark secret to him. There's no trauma per se, aside from the usual sort of stuff. There's no great traumatic thing that's driving him forward. It's just he's a great puzzle player, and he's all about the puzzle. He's all about algorithms, and so it's like that sort of there's binary code running behind his eyes when he's in full flight with a crime, and yet he presents himself in this slightly disarming, almost rambunctious, klutzy kind of way, and yet and then he just goes straight for the jugular. And it's a delight to play, because I get to really play on those foibles, and then at the end he gets to win anyway, which is great.
Yeah, I've been told I've only got enough time for just one more question, but I'm going to ask you about
more Stefan.
My dad's from Looe down in Cornwall. Yeah, and then but then he was raised in Devon, so he's always walked this line between the kind of Devon and Cornwall kind of rivalry. And I love, and he's going to love it when he sees it, how it kind of plays out in this season. I know you guys are kind of shooting down on location. Did you get any sense of that kind of quite affectionate, playful rivalry when you were down there? And I know you might have been asked this already, but when it comes to scones, what are you? You jam first, you cream first?
Go on, Sal.
Well, I sort of, I so dip in and out that I don't think I'm around enough to sort of get the real. I'm never in Devon or Cornwall long enough to sort of to really witness, that sort of friendly rivalry or who's the best. So it probably is better off to ask Kris on that one.
And what about your scone, Sally?
Oh, what would I do with my scone? I would put.
Do you call it scone or scone? That's the first thing.
Scone. And I would put cream on and a blob of jam. What one's that?
Devon, isn't it?
Is it?
Ooh, Devon. Yeah, okay. I'm going to be I'm from Somerset, so I grew up in the West Country. I know all about the rivalry between Devon and Cornwall, and so when they presented to me, I also used to live in Polperro for a while as well. So when they presented to me that there were this fictional Devon town was actually Looe in Cornwall, and just over the border as well, I was like, okay, this is going to be interesting. Because I knew it was going to cause some kind of consternation. I mean, the reality of the fact is we do film all up and down the Tamar Valley. So we film both sides. We film equally in Devon as much as we do Cornwall. It's just Looe is a very visual representation of us filming in Cornwall and it being in Devon. I quite like the fact that it causes some consternation because I think it's friendly. So I think it's quite cheeky, but I like it. And as per scone, I'm jam first, then cream, Cornish.
So am I. I think you know what it is. You spread jam and you dollop cream, and I think
you dollop both. You dollop both.
Yeah. No, you don't.
No, you do, and then you squish, and then you squish.
What do you? No.
Yes.
I don't believe in the squishing. I don't know what the squishing is. I believe you have your scone, you spread your jam on, and then you get a massive load of cream and you lob it on top, and then you eat that.
You don't put a lid on
another.
No, because if you put a lid on it, you eat it in one. If you have it as two, you get double the meal.
Double scone. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
All right.
Anyway, I am actually.
I know. Sorry, I've embarrassed myself.
Not at all.
You're in good company. I'm sure the Devonshire lot will be cheering you on when they watch this.
They'll love it.
But I am actually all out of time. But it was lovely to speak to you both. I could have spoken to you for much longer. But and Kris, I will watch A Few Best Men now. I've need to watch.
It's just great to see. I love how you're omnipresent. I love how I always get to see you when I get to do the press. It's one of the highlights, Stefan, seeing you.
Thank you.
Cheers, mate.
A highlight to speak to you guys, and hopefully we'll speak for season 4. Who knows?
I look forward to it.
Okay, take care, everyone. Bye-bye.
Yeah, buddy.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're watching Hey You Guys.
Hey, you guys!
Hey you guys.
Hey, that's what they all say.
Hey you guys.
Hey, you guys!